Now, just days ago, Governor Newsom signed a bill into law that aims to change California's broken conservatorship system. It's an issue investigative reporter Andy Judson has been digging into for years now. Tonight, she shows us what this new law will do, and is it the change advocates have been calling for?
From the streets of Los Angeles to the California state capitol, it's been a wild ride for Free Britney advocate Leanne Simmons.
I started out as an advocate in the Free Britney movement, as a lifelong Britney fan.
A passion that transformed from Spears to the system.
It doesn't take long to see that this goes so much beyond Britney.
It's why Simmons brought disability advocate voices to the stage at Free Britney rallies.
We started to kind of shift the focus at a lot of our rallies in Los Angeles to raise awareness about mental health advocacy groups and disability rights advocacy groups.
Most under conservatorships are those with disabilities. It's something advocate Judy Mark has been fighting the system on.
Why are you conserving these people?
When Spears' conservatorship was terminated, there was dancing in the streets.
And as soon as Britney was free, we kind of took a deep breath. We did it.
But the celebration was quick. They had work to do.
We didn't have much time to really rest on that because this is such a timely issue that affects so many people.
Mark and Simmons used Spears' conservatorship to bring awareness and change to California's broken conservatorship system, a system that impacts thousands across the state.
We now want to push people to think bigger and to think, what about someone who doesn't have a whole fan base behind them? What about someone who's been fighting these systems and these different entities in our state of California for years and haven't seen any success?
Thanks to their efforts, AB 1663 was created and sponsored by Assemblymember Mainshine.
At heart, this is really a human rights bill.
A bill that took a lot of effort and faced opposition.
Honestly, it's been such a long road that, and there were many times that we weren't sure this bill was going to get passed.
Passed just last week.
I feel like we have really passed a revolutionary disability rights law in the state of California.
The bill has 4 main goals.
Effectively making it harder to put someone under conservatorship and also easier for them to exit that conservatorship.
And we do that by saying that if a person who's conserved just makes one mention, I want out, I am not happy, there must be a hearing called to discuss this with them.
It gives those already under conservatorship more rights.
The conservator is required to make decisions based on the expressed wishes, in whatever way they can express it, of the conservatee.
Finally, it will write something called supported decision-making into California law for the first time ever.
Which gives a person with a disability the opportunity to select trusted people who are their supporters to help them make decisions in their lives.
AB 1663 will go into effect January 1st, 2023. Mark credits our 2-year investigation, the price of care taken by the state for putting pressure to bring change.
Your reporting passed a law. Your reporting is getting people out of conservatorship.
But our investigation shining a light on this broken system, as well as a bill being passed to change it, is also just the beginning of a long road to reform.
Yes, and I think that your reporting is going to really help us get funding to bring transparency to the conservatorship system in California. We still don't have funding that will require courts to report on how many people they actually have conserved.
An investigative reporter, Andy Judson, joins me now. Andy, how impactful that your work has led to much needed changes. Your series, Price of Care, has clearly outlined. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, by the way, it's available on abc10.com as well as our YouTube channel. Now, Andy, you've been digging into this broken system for years now. What is your take? Will this bill help bring this needed change?
Yeah, well, any change is good change, right? But it's also worth noting, while this is one of the first kinds of its bills, it's not the first. Last year, AB 1194 was passed, and it also promised to make these big changes to the conservatorship system, but it never actually received the funding it needed in order to make those changes. So it's the same situation with 1663. We just need both of these bills in order to really work to have that financial backing. So that's what's next for lawmakers.
Sure. Andy, while we have you here, we also want to ask you about the Care Court. That is legislation that Governor Newsom signed into law recently as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, a recent UC Berkeley study found that a large majority of bipartisan voters are in favor of Care Court. So that's really interesting, right? And experts we spoke with realized that that's really because we have a homeless problem in California, right? So people are ready to see change, and that's really actions being taken to create that change.
Yeah, we've also, though, heard some really sharply criticism of the Care Court system. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, experts have told us there's a number of different issues with it. One is that it's potentially a pipeline to conservatorships if people don't go through the Care Court system as they should. The other reason is that it's not really a solution. We need more housing, experts are saying, and overall it's adding more to our already very overwhelmed court system and public defenders as well. So all of these laws go into place January 1st. So we'll see then if they really work or not.
We sure will, and I'm sure you will be following it closely with your investigative reporting. Thanks so much, Andy.
Thank you.